Here he is. I, I gotta admit, I like this idea, which I should have had a long time ago, which is at least as soon as I figure out I can stream for the day, scheduling the stream, because it actually gives Susan a couple minutes or an hour, should she so decide, to send people out notifications. And Wolverine and Big Green are here, and the Bester and Narlax, and Philip and Jay, and Harmony, and Harib Shelby writes is in, Lix is here, Fluffy. Yeah, this, I just got, that's what the title of the stream there, I just got notified. Hold on a second, I'm just trying to see what I'm doing here, because it's always difficult for me to see what I'm doing here. Okay, right to there. By Cameo, about doing Cameo vids. And hold on, I'll tell you guys. Probably should have had that pulled up to begin with. I can tell you what they said. Got contacted by a person from there saying, my name is Avery and I handle partnerships at Cameo. I'm reaching out because we've had some of your fans request for you to join Cameo. So cool, you guys set this up. The platform connecting fans with their favorite people through personalized blah, blah, blah. Thousands of talent using. I'd love to discuss the opportunity with you. So I've set up with him an appointment to discuss it tomorrow morning. And if all goes well, which I assume it will, I'll get it set up. It does seem like the notifications are a little more. Yeah, I know. As Shelby says, it seems the notifications are more consistent this way. Fingers crossed. Yeah, because if it's possible to jinx something, we just jinxed it, Shelby. Cameo, Philip. It's just it's where people can go and buy a video from celebrities, sports, or athletes, entertainers, whatever, to again to say whatever they want in the video. Typically, it's birthday greetings, things along those lines. But now here's where it gets a little sticky for me. Is I got to figure this out because first of all, I don't want to do this and do the like run of the mill every day. Hey, happy birthday, Steve. I was glad to hear that it's your birthday. Hey, don't eat too much cake, okay? You know, I don't want, it's not going to happen. If somebody's going to pay for me to make a video for them, I'm going to write stuff and I'm going to try and produce something that'll be fun, funny, whatever they want. I would probably add Golden because that's what gets requested here more often than anything else. Golden as a possibility for the video, and I would do things like offer roasts where you could get a video made and you just give me details about the person you want roasted and I will go off on a roast rant and excuse me whatever whatever you guys think I would want to be able to provide, but again, I don't want to just put out run-of-the-mill crap. Yeah, exactly. Doctor Who says that's the kind of video suited for you. That's why I'm looking forward to it. That's why I jumped at it when the opportunity came, Doctor Who, because I love doing that stuff. I love doing shit like that. Somebody will pay to say fucked up stuff. I'm going to ask the guy tomorrow, Fluffy. I don't think there are. I want to make sure that there are no restrictions on language. I can't imagine there would be. I mean, I would make sure of who the request is for. You know, I don't want to get a request because, again, we've had a number of people here who said, oh, you know, my kids watch your videos and I don't want to be sending out a birthday wish to a 10-year-old going, so it's your fucking birthday, huh, bitch? You know, that type of thing. But I want to make sure that if it's requested, we can, you know, language is no barrier, especially if we're going to do ones with with Golden. I don't think Golden could stay within any parameters of what would be considered normal or acceptable human behavior. Wolverine says, get a wrestler to say, I'm gonna goose you up, brother. Before you, it was just Gilbert Gottfried and Peter Griffin, Lick says. Oh, and you said finally a good person on Cameo. I got looking a little bit after they contacted me. They have more people on there than I thought. They got a lot of, well, not surprising they would have a lot of the wrestlers on there, especially once your career's over. A lot of wrestlers in general are not known for their propensity for being good with their money. So yeah, a lot of them are working anything they can at that point. But they have a lot more actors and stuff on there than I imagined. They also have a lot of people that I've never heard of, but again, they're probably in fields that I just never would have heard of. Oh, is there Big Green? He says, I don't know. The guy who pretends to be Jesus on Cameo is kind of funny too. That goes back to I know there were people on Fiverr doing that for ages. Where you could buy videos of people doing weird shit on Fiverr, and I know they had Jesus was on there. That's kind of funny though, actually. Is Macho Man's ghost on there? Like this. Oh yeah, of course it is. When I was looking around, I did see somebody playing Santa on there, which okay. Well, that was that one guy who got shut down in Fiverr because of PewDiePie. What happened there, Lex? I never heard about that. PewDiePie. Now, because of PewDiePie got somebody shut down on Fiverr? Or PewDiePie, maybe PewDiePie made a video about people on Fiverr? Should be the goose man for cameos. Well, that's what I got to figure out, is what kind of videos to offer. Again, I'll offer roasts because I love doing roasts. You guys know that. Obviously, the traditional greetings. We got to have a spot for Golden. And from what I glanced around, I just got this email from them a couple hours ago. But I glanced around and it looks like when you set up your Cameo, it appears that you can make a series of example videos. And if that's the case, then I would do one, obviously, as Golden and things of that nature. But if you guys had any good ideas for ideas for the videos to be offered, let me know. Big Green says, yeah, one of the things I saw of him was reading text from Doom as Jesus. Fitting, given you kill demons in the game. That is then. That would be Jesus's forte, you would assume. Morgan says, I'd pay you to come up with a song about how much you adore Kabuto. I'm not a good impersonator, Colton. I wouldn't want to offer something that I'm not good at. I'm not really good with impersonations. I actually used to be a lot better. I told you guys, back when I used to do stand-up for a living, not even necessarily impersonations, but I could do good inflections, and I could do dialects decent. I mean, fuck off, Jane. At least well enough that people knew what dialect I was doing. And somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was the chair shots or what knocked it out. I don't have that ability anymore. I could, whether it was Russian or German or Japanese or whatever, I could do a dialect that would at least convey that. And I can't anymore. Krusty Bomb says Pew's got a few people off Fiverr because of social media outrage. Because social media outrage is a thing, especially when you're making a bit and the guys you pay are Indian people who don't know much English. Oh, see, I didn't hear anything about that. Emma says my comment is not showing up. Yeah, Emma, the system has gotten so freaking bizarre here. All we can fix. It's just censoring things, and sometimes they censor the most ridiculous words you can imagine. So you'll go to post something and it just doesn't show up. They don't even tell you why. It just doesn't show up. So that's probably what happened. It was probably a word that you would have never thought would trigger a censor, and all the censors for our chat are turned off. It's just Google/YouTube doing it on their own. Kenny Havoc says, just grab a ski hat and a red jacket and be Cartman. Power Maniac says, you should impersonate this guy called Curtis Candy. I think you nailed it. Now, fuck him. I don't like that guy. I know who he is. Nah, he's a douche. Zurazul, what's Cameo? Again, it's just it's a site set up. You can look it up online and see. It's just a site set up where athletes, celebrities, things like that, you can go in and pay to have them send a video greeting. You know, whether it's for you or for someone else, that you get to download the video and give it to somebody for their birthday, you know, a birthday greeting or whatever the case may be. YouTube is it's entirely vague. Phantom Fox. I've said it over and over. I don't know why they bother to give us the option on censoring chat when they're going to do it anyway. I even looked just today when we were getting ready to set up the stream. I noticed there was a link you could click, and I should never click links of YouTube policy because it just pisses me off. But it says learn more about, you know, what you can and can't do to keep our live stream safe. And I read about halfway through it and started pissing me off, and I just closed it. That's true, Shelby. You can dress up as Thanos if you're willing to paint yourself purple. Yeah, that face I got. I don't mind that. If I get my balls busted about it all the time, you know, about being Caucasian Thanos, but I'm okay with that. Am I going to keep my shirt on in the video? Depends. If it's golden, he refuses to wear a shirt. So, where would I draw the line on things to say on Cameo? You know me, you guys know me and Harib. I don't really have much in the way of lines. I've told you guys as far as language, I don't use the N-word because I don't like the N-word. Outside of that, I can't think of anything now. That's not to say that Cameo doesn't have some restrictions, and that's what I got to find out. But for me personally, outside of that, I can't think of anything. The only thing you can't do, which I know this because I used to make money doing these, but you can't promote a product for someone if you don't actually use it. Other than that, I don't know. Zurazul says, your BK versus McDonald's ERB reaction, by the way, pure gold. Thanks, I appreciate it. That was a good one. Yeah, Burger King, McDonald's, that was a good one. And that, you know, you're talking Burger King versus McDonald's to a fat man. That hit close to home. I like that, Andrew. Andrew says, shirt, you mean skin prison? I've never heard it referred that way. I kind of like that. Yeah, you'd think they probably have some sort of policies, I would think, Em. Really, I can't imagine them being too restrictive, though. I mean, if people know what they're getting. I mean, if somebody comes, again, to mine and says, hey, I want a cameo from Golden, all bets are off, say whatever you want. They know what they're getting. They know it's going to be vile. And obviously, we're living proof that a lot of people find that sort of stuff funny. So, I don't know, but I'll find out from them. Yeah, I didn't see M ask that. Thanks, Philip. Yeah, the email I got just said basically people from the gang here had been reaching out to Cameo wanting me to be able to provide Cameo videos, and they just reached out to me today. It's gotten pretty big, Em. It was a slow build. Actually, you guys told me about it first, and that was a while, quite some time ago. And that's when I first looked it up. That's the only way I stay on top of things that are trending is because you guys always alert me to them. But I've noticed over the last, maybe because of the pandemic, but over the last year or so, it seems like it's gotten a lot bigger. There's a lot more people on there, a lot more known names on there now than there was when you guys first told me about it. Prince Charming, what kind of music do you listen to? A little bit of everything. Being old, I like classic rock. I'll listen to most anything except country. But if it's, if I'm just listening to a radio station, believe it or not, I usually like more low-key, chilled music. I like classic like Billy Joel. more current, oh gosh, why is his name going on in my head? I love Bruno Mars, uh, that type of stuff. But I like to throw in some hard rock here or there. There's even been a few like hip hop titles I've liked. I now old country I'll listen to. I should preface that, but as far as what I do listen to, anything current country just doesn't do it for me. But other than that, I'll listen to anything. I'll try it. You got a virus going. Harib says you got a virus going to family sex game websites, didn't you? I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Harib. Is that a fantasy thing you got going, or I'm not? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. That's why. Well, actually, I know you said that before I made that exception because Chrome says well, there's exceptions like Johnny Cash. That's why. That's why I added that addendum because I do like Johnny Cash. I do like Willie Nelson too. I like his old stuff. And there's some of the old country that still cringe to me, but there's a lot of that I do like. Hell, I remember the days of, because for whatever reason my father loved it. I remember the days of the CB radio craze in music and the truck driving songs. When we had that whole era of songs about truck driving and playing on your CB radio. Philip says current country is shit. Give me the classics, 90s, early 2000s at the latest. Yeah, I'm with you, Philip. They've lost me altogether. Just don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Morgan. By the way, my side effects peaked 12 hours after the vaccine with a 101 degree fever and mild head and body aches, but it lasted only a few hours. Woke up next morning feeling great. Almost exactly the same as me, Morgan. I got to like 100.5 or something like that. Almost exactly the same thing. Yep, and the worst of it was like around 12 hours later. And as I told you guys, mine lasted probably about 5-6 hours. Yeah, so really similar. Yeah, and that was it too. Me too, same thing. Woke up the next day, wouldn't even know I'd had the shot. With you completely, Am. Old stuff like Johnny Cash is more nostalgic for me than anything, but newer is awful. It irritates me. I told you I like one of my all-time favorite songs and always will be is Johnny Cash's version of Sunday Morning Coming Down. Because I know most people think that's his song. It's actually Chris Christopherson's. But I can listen to that song over and over. There's something, that song affected me from the time I was a little kid and didn't even know why. Just that the feel that song provides is just amazing to me. I kind of like that, Philip. I agree with that, and I like the way you put that. Country music these days is pretty much just boy bands if they played guitars. Well put. Poppy says more modern songs in general I don't particularly like, mainly due to my brother blasting it to the point of deafness. Eli says, do you like Frank Sinatra? He's kind of an interesting one for me because I don't think Frank Sinatra was a particularly good singer. I do like some of his songs. Most of his songs that he did, there are other artists who did it better. So I can't say I dislike him. I just don't think he was that great. It's just we know his connections got him to where he was. But a good example is I love the song Summer Wind. Frank Sinatra has the most famous version of Summer Wind. If you listen to it, if you can even find it anymore, I haven't tried, but if you can find the Nat King Cole version of Summer Wind, it kicks the living shit out of Frank Sinatra's version. And that's one of his most famous ones. And that's true with most of his songs for me. Other people did it better. I wonder, I'll have to look for that at some point. I don't even know if that's around anywhere. But when I was a kid, man, I loved that Nat King Cole version of Summer Wind. And Sinatra's is just like, whatever. Seriously, should be in his car when he has his music on. It's like an earthquake. Yeah, I can't do that either, Poppy. I never could, even when I was younger. That distorts it to me. The music just, again, just my personal preferences. Even, a hard rock song, a driving song, I'll turn that up a little more. But the people with, the space speakers in their trunks and shit, I don't care how pure the sound is. When it's that loud, it just distorts the entire experience for me. Philip, My Way, Fly Me to the Moon, I get a kick out of you. Yeah, see, and My Way, that's another good example, Philip. I think Elvis's version of My Way was way superior to Sinatra's. Way superior. Oh, Nat King Cole, yeah, Shelby, his voice was crazy. And if you guys are into that old style music and that crooner music, and you've heard Sinatra's Summer Wind, if you can find it, I don't know, I'll take a look. Nat King Cole's is ridiculous. I haven't heard it in years, obviously, because I don't know even where it exists. Let me look and see. YouTube has almost everything. Nat King Cole, Summer Wind. And I get Frank Sinatra. Wow, I don't see it here. Nat King Cole, those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Autumn leaves, that Sunday, that summer. Wow, I don't see it. I see a lot of Nat King Cole's summer, but I don't. Oh, and he did such a great version of that. Wow. I'm really, I'm surprised by that. I don't see it anywhere. Hey, Zerzul. He says, my dad got divorced early on, and music was his go-to medicine. I can understand that. I grew up listening to Jimmy Buffett and got in trouble in third grade for singing Margaritaville without knowing what most of it meant. Wasted away again in Margaritaville. Yeah, I could see we're in third grade. They might. Yeah, but you can't get in real serious trouble for that. That's kind of being nitpicky. That's where you just go to a kid and say, hey, do me a favor, don't sing that in school. Agreed, Em. She says, well, Nat King Cole is up there with the best of them, though. LOL, can't compare. Yeah, his voice. Talk about silk. Jeez. Oh, man. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. I always love that song. But I know it's nobody's fault. Oh, let's see. Behemoth says, what video game consoles do you have? PS, GameCube is the greatest. I haven't been playing much of any console lately, Behemoth. Spazkid and I have gotten pretty much entirely into PC gaming now. Though I still have a PS4 downstairs. Hardly ever use it. But we didn't even buy one of the new gen consoles. Now, if I had a favorite, Spazkid has got it with him out at college. It's his. Is the Switch. I think the Switch has some gaming experiences that can't be replicated as well on PC. So, which shocks me because we didn't even buy the Switch for quite some time after it had been out because I thought it was going to be stupid. And once again, I was wrong. Big surprise because I ended up loving it. So actually, that would probably be my favorite console right now. Morgan says, I got to get back to work, but this is a nice way to spend my lunch. Talk soon, Uncle Curtis. Yeah, it was very nice. I'm glad you were able to be in with us, Morgan. And I'll talk to you soon. Oh, yeah, Chrome. Chrome says, so I just saw you finally saw Gear 4th in One Piece. Oh, that was so cool. Bouncy, bouncy. And now what I'm dealing with, Chrome, I'm having to go through Luffy needs 10 minutes for his haki to replenish. And, of course, we know that in One Piece, 10 minutes is going to be about 37 hours. So it's maybe 17, 18 episodes and 10 minutes will go by. Niall says, all modern songs sound the same, all electronic stuff with very little story in them. I wouldn't say all, but yeah, I get what you're alluding to, though, Niall. There is a good hunk of music now, it seems, that it is more wrapped around, as you said, the technology of music rather than the music itself. Let's see. Chrome says, I love the Switch. I've got somewhere around 75 games on the console already. Nice. Everything is on the Switch, basically. I just bought Doom and Doom Eternal on sale. Runs pretty well on Switch. I've been really impressed, Chrome. And again, it took us forever to even buy it because I was just... The last several releases of Nintendo weren't a big thing to me anyway, and then they came up with the Switch, and it's like, I don't see where this is going to be that much different, but yeah, it's really cool. And I like the VR gaming systems too. The VR gaming is a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun. Yeah, Zerazul. You only have 5 minutes left till Namek explodes. 20 episodes later. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm afraid I'm going to be dealing with right here, Zerazul, with waiting this goddamn 10 minutes for Luffy to get his haki back so he can kick the shit out of Dofi. And it's like, oh, I know this is going to be a while. This 10 minutes. Nolan says I will buy a Switch exclusively for the new Zelda game coming out. That I have not kept up on Zelda, but agree 100%. That's one of the great titles of all time, Zelda. It really is. If VR wasn't so fucking expensive, though, it's not as bad as I thought, though, Big Green. I think I can't think of the name of the big VR system there. I can almost place it. But anyway, we picked that one up when it came out, and I think it was 300. I mean, it's not cheap, but $300 is, you know, what you'd expect for a system like that, I thought. M says Doflamingo is probably my favorite One Piece villain. He's a great villain, M. He's even I've been mentioning in the reactions. He's one of the few One Piece villains, because they all have their laugh, where his laugh doesn't annoy me. It's just a really good villain laugh. Dofi's got one of the best villain laughs I've ever heard. Whereas on the other side of the coin, that snot bitch, his right-hand man, every time he laughed, I wanted to punch the screen. Oculus, thank you guys. Yeah, Philip. Yeah, Bester. The new Oculus was $300 and well worth it. Well worth the money. It's a lot of fun. And the games aren't too expensive for it either. I've been thinking about that. Nolan says VR leads to some hilarious YouTube creations too. Josh Dubs smashing Eddie VR are hilarious. I've been thinking about maybe when Spaz gets maybe home for the summer, recording some for the channel, just because they're fun. Those games are, and I keep playing the one game there, the one shooter. And when I have to listen at my old ass age, it's a pain in the ass to have to get down to avoid bullets anyway. But I get down on the ground to avoid it. And in the game, there was a little table there. And so being an old fart, I'm always, I'm going to put my hand on something to assist in standing back up. And I kept trying to put my hand on it, and right down to the ground I would go. Em says, because he only laughs when he's angry. LOL, he's basically a psychopath with a devil fruit. He is. He is a great villain. I mean, again, it's the epitome to me of a great villain when you hate him. I do. I want to see him get his ass beat. But at the same time you hate him, you fear him and respect him. And that's not true with all the villains. I mean, some of the villains, it's like you just hate them and it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. I just want you gone. Whereas Dofi, and in fairness, I'd been saying it right along, for whatever reason, maybe it's the fabulous feathers, maybe, but he was intimidating to me right from when we very first met him in the series. Dofi's always been an intimidating character. Super hot. Yes, that's the game, Philip. You got it. Yep, super hot. Yeah, I had that one segment there. I was having trouble getting past it. And every goddamn time I'd kneel down behind the furniture there and go to get back up and put my hand on that table. I still hold that Hogback had the absolute worst laugh in One Piece with Moria being as close. Yeah, I hated Moria's laugh too. I hated that one. I always forget his name though. The snot bitch that's Luffy's right hand man. Luffy. That guy. Man, I was so happy when he got sliced up. Jesus. Chrome says Doflamingo is one of the best villains in the series, honestly. I agree with what I've seen so far. I usually don't find One Piece's villains that memorable outside of Crocodile, but he's stuck in my mind. Yeah, Crocodile was a good one too. Yeah, that's like, it is fun to think about the villains that really stayed with you. Madara, I've always told you guys, was one for me. Madara, I think, is just a phenomenal villain. Really is. I never had Game Boy, but Spaz Kid did. Burnt Pyromaniac. He always had, he had several Game Boys, the different releases of them. Chrome says, I never underestimate Nintendo handhelds. They do massive. Their libraries tend to be strong, and now Nintendo isn't split between two consoles, saying push more games on one system. Yeah, I'm just amazed by how good the Switch is. I never would have imagined it was going to be that high quality. Excuse me. Yeah, I know. I do like that. And Doflamingo travels in the air using his strings. He looks like he can walk in midair. Yeah, everything about him is cool. I mean, his abilities, the way he goes about utilizing his devil fruit powers. But again, because he is a great villain, that's why I want him to get the shit kicked out of him. And Luffy had him and runs out of haki just as he's about to put on the finishing touches. And if nothing else, Dressrosa brought us Bartolomeo. So Dressrosa always will have to be a legendary arc just because they they were willing to give us that great character. Lud says, Crocodile, Kaido, and Doflamingo are so far my favorite villains in One Piece. Blackbeard might overtake them, but we need to see a lot more of them. Yeah, same for me, Lud. Right. Well, we know now with Whitebeard's abilities, we know that Blackbeard is going to be freaking loaded. Jesus. I mean, at some point down the road, that's, oof. Yeah, that with what Blackbeard was already bringing to the table, old Teach, to have now taken over Whitebeard's abilities as well. I don't know. Luffy may have to find some more gears before before that takes place. Oh, I love Bartolomeo M. Chrome says, I'm hoping that Switch Pro gets announced at E3 this year. There's rumors of a Switch revision with an OLED 720p screen that can do 4K on TV. OLED screens are beautiful. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Nolan says Madara should have won. That alone should tell you the villain quality. Until my will is Kaguya is from Zetsu. Insert annoyed at Kishi face. Yeah, Kaguya was okay, but yeah, she just wasn't as great a villain as Madara. She just simply wasn't to me. And that little rat bastard Black Zetsu. That's why by the time, which I never would have imagined in Naruto, there would be a character that I hated more than Kabuto, but Black Zetsu stood up and said, "Oh, yo," because that's that sniveling, squirmy little bitch. And he spends at the end of the series, in the big finale, final moments there, he spends it hiding in Mommy's sleeve, that pussy. Kaiser says, one thing I don't like is that a villain needs to be a complex character to be good. If they have complex reasons that make sense and great, but being competent is important. Yeah, sure, I agree with that. Andy says, what was your political voting history? Do you vote for Democrats or Republicans? Yes. I voted for both. Many, back and forth. I vote for everybody's individual stance on issues, not for parties. Krusty says, to be honest, the Naruto series should have ended with Madara. Kaguya and Zetsu feels like a bit too much of a shoo-in. I don't disagree with that. I think that Madara should have been the ultimate villain. Now, I don't get me wrong, I loved Naruto and Shippuden. And I had a blast, taking it all the way to the end and seeing Team 7 come together to beat Kaguya and all that. That was cool. But, yes, I think the story made better sense with Madara being the ultimate boss, the final boss. Zurzul says, Aizen was great, in my opinion, because he was a villain for villain's sakes. Madara I like because he actually lived up to the hype, in my opinion. Madara did live up to the hype. And the whole backstory with Madara and another name's gone right out of my head. My favorite character in the series, and his name's gone out of my head. It's one of those post-concussion days. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. The Hokage that was Madara's opponent from the time they were kids. Why is it Hashirama? Thank you, Big Green. Jesus Christ, I hate when I do that. The whole Madara Hashirama thing is one of my favorite. Ramen Guy's daughter, Lick says, one of my favorite I guess, opponents of one another in all of anime. Yeah, Hashirama. Hashirama is a great character. Listen, when just a few of your cells being inserted into someone else makes them a badass, you know you're a badass. Chrome says, Kaguya feels like an executive decision made so they'd be able to have villains for a sequel series. Kaguya exists so you can introduce her family as villains in Boruto, so it's less an ass pull later. Oh, all right. But still an ass pull, she says. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, I didn't mind that because I just enjoyed the adventure. But if I have to be honest about my feelings about it, Madara would have been a better final villain. Hish says, what are your opinions on TV Filthy Frank 2? Also, have you watched any SMG4? I think I might have. The name seems familiar on SMG4, but I have to go back and look. TV Filthy Frank 2, I have nothing against him. I just don't have an interest in it. I mean, Papa Frank was Papa Frank, and I don't know. I just don't really have an interest in someone else doing the role or the character. Nothing against him. I'm sure he's probably great. Last I knew, he was doing quite well with it, so he's got to be good. Just don't really have an interest. As Nux says, is it Hashiramable? If so, it ain't a plot hole. Fluffy says, Kaguya seems like a Susan move. Oh, now that's a slap, yeah. Not bad. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Chrome. Last part of that, Chrome says, I mean, they literally introduced aliens in the tail end of the arc. Kaguya is based on the rabbit goddess of the moon from Japanese legend. I didn't know that. That's kind of neat, actually. Doing good, Daniel. Doing good. Lute says, you've seen how strong Gear 4 is, yet Luffy still lost to Doffy in his initial bout, while Doffy was wrecked already by Law. Knowing this, what do you think of them taking on Kaido, who even Doffy fears? Well, that's what I mean, Lute. Just from what they've said about Kaido, you know, they're in a world of shit. And I don't even know how Kaido stands up because Blackbeard is gone. Now, if Blackbeard had those abilities plus Whitebeard's, and we know what Whitebeard's standing was in the world, who can possibly be even more powerful than Blackbeard? And like I say, we know there's still steps because Kaido is a significant step over Doffy because Doffy himself even acquiesced that Kaido could just kill him. So yeah, it's things are gonna, even after Dressrosa, things are gonna continue to be kind of testy. Big Green says, yeah, it's kind of neat, which makes Kaguya be so bland, kind of sad. Not the Cool Up says, now I'm gonna get a cameo where you tell me not to eat too much cake. Hish says, I just want to say you are the best reaction channel by far, and you're also the funniest. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. That's my plans. I'm going to start doing more reactions in live streams. And that way I figure it's the best of both worlds. The reaction still goes up to the channel, but I had a lot of fun doing that Try Not to Laugh video. What was it yesterday, right? We did that? Doing that yesterday with you guys in the stream. That made it a lot of fun. You know, to be able to pause and see what you guys were saying about it as well. That was a blast. So I'll figure out what reactions we're gonna do next, and I'll do some of them in a live stream. Philip says, looked up a list of 20 greatest anime villains. Meruem, yep. Now a lot of these I won't know. QB from Madoka, the Major from Hellsing, Shinobi Susui from Yu Yu Hakusho, Shao Tucker and Griffith from Berserk. Thoughts? Oh, good list. Well, you know how I feel about Meruem. Certainly one of the most fascinating villains of all time for me. And the thing is, if he hadn't gotten nuked, could have easily gone from one of the greatest villains ever to one of the greatest heroes ever if the story had gone a different way. So he's fascinating to me. The Major from Hellsing. Yeah. Everything about Hellsing was great. I get that one. Shinobi Susui from Yu Yu Hakusho, Shao Tucker and Griffith from Berserk. Griffith definitely, because Griffith was such such a different type of villain. Much more complex than usual, I think. Shao Tucker's just a piece of shit. I don't know I don't know if I would put Shao Tucker on a villain's list. He's just a shitty person. I mean, I guess that makes him villainous. But he wasn't trying to be a villain. He was just such a complete piece of shit. And so detached from reality and his desire to keep his position that he didn't even know any better, which makes him complete garbage. I guess I would want to put him more on a biggest pieces of shit in the history, and then he better be number one in the history of anime. Arthur says, I'm still hyped for you to get to Gintama. I'll tell you, Arthur, with just with what the little bit I know of it and the clips we've seen from the old reaction video streams and stuff, yeah, I'll be hyped for Gintama. Licks. My favorite anime characters, the Nazis. Chrome says Shao Tucker is just a loser, not a villain. Yeah, that's kind of where I am, Chrome. I don't think he fits on that list. I think that's elevating him too high to call him a villain. He's not a villain. He's just a scumbag. Which FMA do you prefer, the original or Brotherhood? Brotherhood. I'm glad you guys got me to watch Brotherhood first. I really did enjoy it. Nothing wrong with the original. I haven't seen the entirety of it, but I've seen a good hunk of it. Nothing wrong with it at all. And I do like some of the details that FMA fills in. But if I were going to sit down and rewatch, it would be Brotherhood. Big Green says, yeah, with Griffith, you're kind of wondering how Guts came to hate Griffith as much as he does, and then you see what he does, and oof, yeah, he was really a complex one. And I agree, Big Green. That's why he does need to be on the list, because he was such a different type of villain. Yeah, well put, Nolan. Griffith is the anime embodiment of, hey, they had us in the first half, not gonna lie. Keijo says, in Precure, my favorite villain is Goyon. Think Frieza plus Piccolo plus Cell with a large horn and a huge chin. Was a juggernaut final boss that could take and dish it out, plus he could be funny. That's interesting. Luke says, Griffith did nothing wrong. What do you mean? I'm making a lame joke from 2008. Yeah, and we get talking about this stuff, and it just reminds me how much anime is out there that I would so love the opportunity to watch again. God damn, I'm hoping at some point to be able to get to do a rewatch on some of the things. Maybe, you know what I wonder with a lot of the ones I want to rewatch, I wonder if it'd be worth just watching some of the YouTube videos of, fill in the name of this anime in 10 minutes or in 20 minutes, and they just give the highlights. I wonder if that'd be enough of a taste of revisiting it to satisfy me for a little while. Magic School Bus? Meet Candy's Magic School Bus? Daniel, I watched that one, didn't I? I saw Magic School Bus. Yeah, I'm sure I did. Meet's the best. Big Green says, I'm waiting on the next chapter of the Berserk manga. Hopefully it's not too long until it drops. Chrome says, oh, by the way, I just saw the spoilers for Attack on Titan's manga ending. It looks like Eren may have surpassed Shinji from Evangelion for shittiest main character ever. Yikes. Yeah, we can go. I got to look it up. I think we can go over to Attack on Titan Season 4 now, right? It's completed, and I think it's up at the streaming services. I mean, over at the Goosh. M says, I'm a fan of anime, but I'm also a fan of decent writing. And if an anime has shit writing, I don't bother. LL, or it sucks when the concept and characters are good, but it's executed poorly. I agree with that. I think that's true. I'm with you, Em. On that, same thing can be said, I think, even broader into TV shows and movies, sometimes where a concept is really good and then the execution is just horrible. Let me see. Krusty Bomb says, the manga for Attack on Titan ended recently in a very weird way. You know what happens with waiting to watch Season 4, Krusty? What I've been doing, so I don't even know where the manga was. Anytime, I did this a couple times, that must be why it was trending, because I went on Twitter, I saw Attack on Titan trending, and I said, nope. And I backed it. I don't even want to be on the platform when people are talking about it because I didn't want to get spoiled. So that's probably what they were talking about then, is the manga ending. Oh, no problem, Spazdev. I'm glad you drop in while you can. Nolan says, showing someone the early episodes of Berserk be like, you're right, you do have a strong stomach. There's so much blood. And you're just like, you fool, this isn't even its final form. No, it most definitely is not the final form. Yikes. That was Berserk was disturbing in so many ways. And a lot of the reason it was so effectively disturbing is because it was so different and so well structured, I believe. Will season 4 have a second half or a movie? I'm not sure, Jeff. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. Like I said, I'm staying away from details on it. I just know that they had come to, if I'm not mistaken, they had come to a conclusion point on AOT in the anime, which as soon as they get to a concluding point, then we can continue it over at the Goosh. Oh, Jack says, I'm not sure I'm an anime fan anymore. Whenever I watch new anime now, I tend to see its influence in older classic anime rather than new stuff. And and Luke says, oh, hey, Jack finally cured his weebness. You never want to get over your weebness. Arthur says, I miss when stories were about story, not popularity. I think that's true in a lot of forms of media now. It's very similar to journalism and clickbaiting. I do think sometimes things are created just because they think it'll fit into the certain niche that'll get a lot of clicks. Yarborough says, just to point out, safe from the Minneapolis riots. Oh, I forgot you're in that vicinity, Yarborough. I was reading up on them earlier. Are they still brewing up there? Is it still getting bigger? Usually when those things get going on, typically it picks up at night. I didn't know if it'd be increasing during the day. Spazdev says, been rewatching the X-Men movies recently and forgot how good they are. Some of my favorite superhero movies. I never got into X-Men. And I think it was just just never had the time to sit down and watch them. Excuse me, because everything I've ever seen, read, heard about the X-Men has been great. Chrome says, I mean, it looks like he's going for huge incel energy in the ending. I heard the writer wanted to end the series ages ago, was told to keep it going because of how popular it is. His revenge. Yikes. Oh. Big Green says, I actually haven't watched a lot of anime recently. I finished Nichijou last month, but that's it. That's an interesting one to have just finished, Big Green. What do you think? I love Nichijou. I mean, it has a special place to me because actually Frog started sponsoring it over at the Goosh, and he was the first one. When I put up that G100, that $100 level, I wasn't even thinking about the people using it to sponsor series. I thought people would want specific, like Cameo for everybody, like specific sketch videos or something like that. And Frog is the one who came up with the idea. He's like, well, can I just sponsor an episode of a series? And I said, sure, for a reaction. And Nichijou was our first sponsored series, and Frog stayed with it, all 26 episodes, one a month. It took us a little over 2 years. It was a great ride. I love the humor in that. But what surprised me, and I don't know about you, Big Green, that got me good in the feels those last couple episodes. Where it wasn't the last couple, it was the last few. The one with the Bolt episode, as I called it, was really a good kick to the feels. And then the girls hiding around the corner of the fence there, I always get the character names mixed up, not surprised. But backing up the other girl to make her feel better and everything. I mean, I just didn't expect Nichijou, being as silly and random as it was, to have those good, solid feels moments in it. Yarborough says they've lessened since National Guard deployed. Oh, they do have the National Guard in now, Yarborough? Like I said, I read up on it earlier, and I've been out of the loop. I've been doing things all day, so I wondered. Usually they picked up at nights. I would imagine that's when you guys got to be on high alert, is when the sun goes down again. Big Green says, I love Nichijou. Sure, I've seen funnier animes before, but Nichijou was special. I agree. It was more than just a comedy anime. Absolutely. And you guys know how much I love random humor, and you don't get much more random than Nichijou. The early episodes, Big Green too, the freaking egg guys with the jump rope. I don't know why that cracked me up as much as it did, but holy shit, that kills me. Zurazul says, boss called to talk about inspection for my agents, so I missed talking about great villains. And who damaged my health bar, you fiends? Yeah. Oh, Zurazul. Yeah, I didn't even see that. Oh, you're good though now. Your health is restored. Big Green says, yeah, the voucher for a long friendship scene. Yes. I remember like a week after I finished Nichijou, I saw a gif of that and it really hit me then. I was shocked by that, Big Green. That I just never thought, watching through it, that was a series that when all was said and done, we were wrapping up, be like, wow, that was a real good tweak to the feels. Those were fun. Jeez. And the professor, I loved her. And Mr. Sakamoto, little wise ass. That there were just so many things about that show that were so great. And I always liked the Mohawk kid too. Lick says Nichijou is that anime with the butts. No, Chrome, are you thinking of yeah. I'm sorry, not Chrome, Licks. I was looking at Chrome's name as I read it. I think I know the one you mean. Oh shit. The name's not going to come to me. Are you thinking of the one with the boobs and butts where the chicks fight? Because I've seen that one too, and the name's got out of my mind. Nichijou is the one about the basically about the three little girls, schoolgirls, and it just jumps all over the place. It's also about, well, they interact somewhat, but as I said, the professor and her cat, Mr. Sakamoto, and her creation there that works off a key. She has to wind her up. Keijo, thank you, Arthur. I think she was. Were you thinking? Oh, she was joking. I thought, because I do that, Nichijou and Keijo, because the names were so well, me mixing names is nothing. Please stop mixing up me and Chrome. It's mean to Chrome. Lix says, yeah, I mix them up too all the time, Lix. No, that was Keijo. Nichijou is just random humor, and it's Chrome says boo. It's just total randomness. I mean, there is some continuity in storyline from episode to episode. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But for me, it didn't matter because the randomness of the humor was just so funny. It's a great one. It's a great one for if you want just something that you can watch here and there too. You know, whereas with Nichijou, you don't have to binge it to enjoy it. You can go watch an episode, and then if you're doing other things, watching other stuff, say, it can be weeks later, and you can watch another episode of Nichijou. But boy, it was fun. I really grew to really, really like those characters. The only reason I don't, because you guys know me and my anime shirts, I wanted a Nichijou shirt so bad. It's all about those three girls, or four girls, depending on how you look at it. There's no way that it's not creepy for this old ass face to have a shirt that just has three young girls on it. Otherwise I would have a Nichijou shirt. I guess I could get one with Mr. Sakamoto, but that doesn't really identify as well. If I could have found one like with the egg guys with the jump rope, I would have bought that Nichijou shirt for sure. Yara says Nichijou is Azumanga Daioh that went full surreal. I don't know what that one is, pal. I know I love Nichijou though. Your body's 75% water and I'm thirsty. Curtis, we need to talk about the thumbnail. I gotta remember, what thumbnail did I put in today? Oh, the one with me and Spaz Kid that somebody made for us? Yeah, that one one of the gang here made for us. Mama says, I've only seen 3 animes, so it sounds like you guys are talking about medieval kings, queens, and pirates. Oh, it might be. Or, oh, it's suplexing of the deer. I didn't think of that, Big Green. Yeah, principal versus deer. That's true. That's got to be covered as meme-worthy as that is. That's not a bad idea. I could look for that. What anime are we currently watching now? Oh, Code. Oh, the daily ones over at the Goosh right now are One Piece, Clannad, and Hajime no Ippo. And then we have all the G100s, which is a bunch of series going on right now. A lot of great stuff. And just finished Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. There's so many. Oh, boy. The list of things that we've been able to see that were just stunningly good. And a lot more. I'm proud of how many the Slice of Life anime I have under my belt now because they've all been so good. Zurzul says, I wish I had money fun to watching more Jormungand. Want to see more of Valmet and Coco moments. Jormungand is just freaking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They, as a matter of fact, though, let me double check. I don't want to tell you wrong. I want to get the months right. Let me look this up before I say it, because I hate telling you guys something and having it be wrong. Was it next month? Yes, because Daniel is sponsoring Jormungand. He said what he's going to do is a lot of the Jormungand episodes are actually 2-parters. So the months that it's a 2-parter, he's going to sponsor both. So this month, Jormungand is a single episode, but then I had to look at my list to make sure I was right about May. And then May is a double episode. And he laid out the whole schedule to me. He's going to sponsor them for us. When it's a 2-part episode, he's going to sponsor both parts. So there will be more and more coming. That one really, really caught me right away, that Jormungand. That's just so different. And Coco's a great character. Coco may not have the classic look of most of my waifu, but oh, she's clearly on my waifu list. Hey, Link. Oh, it was. Krusty Bomb says that deer suplex was so goddamn hilarious and memorable. It was brilliant. That was the first thing I ever saw from Nichijou. That was before we started the series. Back in the old reaction video streams, somebody showed me the principal versus deer clip. Chrome says, I will one day make time to get back to watching Detective Conan as well. I'm in the middle of rewatching the series, but stopped months ago. Yeah, that's an even bigger commitment than One Piece. Lute says, I have a love-hate relationship with the Gusha 100s. I love how many series they introduce to you too, but at the same time, we have things like Reincarnated as a Slime, which I really want as regular. Well, to me though, Lute, I always looked at it as, at least that way with the G100 sponsoring it, we get to see them because we know how old I am. And when you think about how many series we've seen from the G100 crew sponsorships, if we didn't have them in the bank already, we'd still be having a lot of the really super popular ones to try and get through on our 3 dailies, and something like Slime might not ever make it to a daily spot. So I understand what you're saying, because it's a great series. You like to see it every day. But if we didn't have the G100s doing it, there's a real good chance that it wouldn't make it. Just because, again, already how many series the G100s have got, the G100 crew has gotten us all the way through. So I've been, excuse me guys, got something in my eye. We've been really, really fortunate with that. I really have had some great times. It even, Samurai Champloo, you know, that was a sponsored series, and that was so good. I said it over and over while I was watching it, that the distinctive feel of Samurai Champloo is one of the most distinctive feels of an anime yet for me. Exactly. Chrome makes a good point. You finished Nichijou because of G100s, plus it finally let us see Ranma and Cardcaptor Sakura. And as I said too, Chrome, yeah, and Cardcaptor Sakura, that's a good example. Chrome sponsors that. Now, there's no way that would have won a poll. Not anytime in my lifetime if we didn't have all the G100s going to take up a lot of the series. Excuse me, just because it's not as high profile. And Chrome sponsored that just to see if I would have any interest in a Magic Girl type of thing. And I had my doubts myself, but it's cute as hell. I think Cardcaptor Sakura captivated me right away because I liked well, you guys know me and parent-child relationships, and I love her familial relationships with her brother and her dad and everything. And so that caught me right from the beginning. And then the whole idea of those cards escaping and the adventure being to reclaim them was just really cute and fascinating to me. It's been a fun series. Really good characters. Andrew says, just bought the full series of Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray. Been like 8 years since I first watched it. Can't wait to sometime do it again. That was good. Radical Ed. Radical Ed is on my list of all-time favorite characters. Oh, man. Her exit in that series still gets me every time I think about it. And her leaving that note of goodbye to them out on the floor out there. Oh, God damn, that was good. She was a great, great character. Excuse me. Big Green says, no, Cardcaptor Sakura would have been as likely to get in as Sailor Moon if it weren't for G100. But that's what I mean. And I would have never, just when Chrome described it to me, I would have never thought, And I've always said, and I stand by it, I'll watch anything if it's good. I don't care about genre. But that was a stretch for me. But goddamn, Chrome was right. I mean, Cardcaptor Sakura is fun. It's just plain fun. Bobby says, it's like this woman who thought the best manga series for her 11-year-old was Madoki Magica. Yeah. Yeah, that, talk about some twisted stuff. Chrome says we're maybe a third through original Sakura now, so still a ways from finishing it. If we ever do reach the end of the original, I may take a break, do a short series, and on to the sequel series. Yeah, that's good with me, Chrome. And I think you've done it well, too, because you know the series so well and know the filler episodes that are just as well missed and everything. And that helps a lot, too, in getting through a series. You guys have helped me a lot with a lot of series because of that. Spaz Dev says Cowboy Bebop is still my favorite anime. That was a great experience watching that one. Again, I just can't. There's just something about Radical Ed from the get-go. She was just such a cute, different, quirky character, and the way she left, that kind of stuff hits me even harder sometimes than the really hardcore emotional moments, the bittersweet moments, like Ed's departure. Burnt says, what do you think would have happened if Ross Perot won the election in 1992? To be honest, Pyromaniac, really not that much. I don't have anything against Ross Perot, just because he would have had difficulty getting anything through, especially at that time. Congress would have fought him on everything, and he would have had people fighting him from both sides. So really, just my opinion, his influence would have actually been not as significant as we might think. That was just what I thought, because again, they would have blocked him at every turn. He didn't have a good lineup of allies on either side. Chrome says, I honestly don't think Sakura has any bad filler episodes. I just think the stuff from the manga is generally stronger written. That's what I mean, too. And, you're able to recognize all that and take us through all just the best parts of the series. What's up, human version of Thanos? Yeah. Caucasian Thanos. White guy Thanos. Who would you choose, Katie Killjoy or a real person? Ooh, depends on the real person. But Katie Killjoy's up there. Luke says, here's what you do. You watch Sailor Moon, but you skip every scene where Sailor Jupiter isn't on screen, and you'll be better off. I don't know what that means, but I'm hoping to find out someday. Luke says, think the most recent new anime I've seen was Vinland Saga. I liked Vinland Saga. Loved the hell out of that. Me too, Lude. Was thinking of starting Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't know. It's bit too Naruto looking for me. I want new things. Oh, Vinland Saga was good. I like that. My boy Torkel. That, and talk about some gritty storytelling. I mean, just the story of Thorfinn himself is pretty intense. But I'm a Torkel nerd. I love that character. Thanks to the masterpiece, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, we got Cowboy Bebop and all the westerns after it. That was a masterpiece, Good, Bad, and Ugly. Chrome says, I'm actually slowly planning on getting the collector's edition of Sakura's manga. They're just expensive, like $20.25 a volume for like maybe 11 volumes. Wow, that is pricey. Wow. Oh, good to see you, Alpha Zero. Arthur says, Shaman King was amazing. Remake is running now. Really? I've heard that name before, Arthur. I really don't know anything about that one. What's the name of the wrestling anime, Fluffy? I'm not sure. I'm sure some of the gang here will know what you mean. I don't know. You're not talking about Baki the Grappler, are you? Is it Baki? Other than that, I don't know. I haven't seen that yet, but I know of it. Other than that, I don't know what it would be. Hajime no Ippo is the boxing anime we're watching right now, and that's really good. Really enjoying that. Oh, I'm sure. Chrome says, I'm sure we can find at least 100 more traps for you can fall for as well. No doubt. And I still fall for them when I'm looking for them. When I think I've got an awareness about it happening, I still get fucking caught. Have you heard that Italian chief that died yesterday? He passed away. Zurazul says, I have to admit, Jujutsu Kaisen surprised me and quickly became one of my all-time favorite anime. Wow. Its writing is beyond amazing and characters are top tier. I'm going to have to write that down because everybody keeps talking about that one. Because I write down ones that I hear a lot about, and this is where from, either streams or at the Goosh or whatever. I'm going to write that down. Because for some reason, Jujutsu Kaisen is just something that recently gets mentioned all the time to me. So I'm going to have to make a note of that. Baki the Grappler, name is misleading, is a general fighting anime. Is it, Krusty Bomb? Yeah, then I don't know what they were looking for then with wrestling anime. Hey, Mathos from Poland. Good to have you, my friend. Looks says, cousins are greater than lesbians. Fight me. Right, Big Green. Incest is wincest after all. Philip says we would have never had The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly without a fistful of dollars. See, you're good at that, Philip. I would never have remembered which came first, the chronology of those, which we wouldn't have had with the samurai film Yojimbo, which we wouldn't have had if it weren't for John Ford. No Cowboy Bebop without him. See, you're good with that. And I'm so old, I'm closer to when those movies came out, and I wouldn't have remembered who came first. I like both Fistful of Dollars and Good, Bad, and the Ugly, but I would have never remembered who came first. And even The Magnificent Seven, which is the original Magnificent Seven, which is a brilliant Western movie, that's based off the Seven Samurai, right? Wasn't that was a Japanese creation first? If I'm, Philip will know if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right? Chrome says, I've got you with at least 2 traps. LOL, the main character of Uran Host Club. Yep, remember that. Even when you were looking, that's exactly what I meant. I was looking for it and I had the wrong one. And the kid in Sakura during the painting episode. Yep. Yes, you did. And with Uran, as you said, Chrome, I was looking. I'm getting trapped here. And it's like, yeah, you're getting trapped. Wrong character, asshole. So yes, I get caught all the time. Chrome says, Jujutsu Kaisen's first season finished a few weeks ago. It's a strong year for anime not named Promised Neverland. I picked up the first 3 volumes of the manga a while ago, still need to read them. See, that's really piquing my interest too now then, especially with it finishing that recently, because that's how for those who don't know over at the Goosh, we have 3 series that go. The gang votes on 2 of the series. The other series at the $1 level I place. And that's what I look for, at least right now, are shorter series and things that get talked about a lot. And now that Jujutsu Kaisen, people are talking about a lot. Yeah, Philip says, yes, it was based on Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, which actually has a pretty decent anime adaptation. Really? That would be interesting if I had time at some point, just because being a fan of the original Magnificent Seven, when I knew what it was based on, it's like, gee, I would like to have time to watch that movie at some time, Seven Samurai, but I'd rather see it as an anime. Hey, Rosa. Rosa says, hey, old man, I've been busy driving. One of the older drivers decided it was a good idea to try to lift 10 pounds more than he usually does with no building up. Uh-oh. Gave you a little bit, added to your workload a little bit, Rosa? I got to start watching Akira Kurosawa movies. Yes, Spaz Dev. Like I said, that stuck in my mind because I was always impressed that, The Magnificent Seven was based on a Japanese film. I just always thought that was cool, even as a kid. Oh, somebody suggest racist Mario Wolverine? Yes, I saw. That's still one of my favorite random things that we've reacted to. Absolutely. Philip says it's not exactly a faithful adaptation, but a good one nonetheless. Yeah, that's... I've said it over and over. That's why I become such a fan. I just think, in general, anime storytelling is superior to Western storytelling, in general. Okay, guys, well, I got to go. Thank you for the stream. This was a lot of fun. I will keep you guys posted. I'm supposed to talk to the guy at Cameo. He's supposed to call me tomorrow around 9 a.m. So I should know during the day tomorrow what's going on with that. The only thing I can say with the cameos, I'm going to ask him what's acceptable, what isn't. I've told you guys my goals on it. I want, if I'm going to do them, they're going to be productions. They're not just going to be me sitting there with no forethought rambling on about something. Pricing, I don't know yet. It's the only thing I can say. I got to warn people, I'm not going to put it at the lowest price point because I'm not looking to get a ton of them. You guys know that unfortunately time is my number one enemy. And if I get a ton of those, it would affect the YouTube channel and start to infringe on the goosh and stuff like that. And the whole Cameo thing is just an aside, and it's got to be just kept as an aside where I keep doing the main stuff with a priority. But thank you guys very much for the stream. Thanks for hanging out with me. Again, I'll keep you posted on the whole Cameo thing. And I know it's Monday, and we know that Monday is kind of blasé, and the sticky stuff is, well, it's not bonerific. It just, I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to put it right out there and say it. Today's sticky stuff is very average and uninspired. I apologize for that. I'm getting older. The libido's not what it used to be. And Mondays, it's just hard to get the sticky stuff up. But all that said, it's just like they say, as Disney nuts, a bad day in Disney is still a better than a good day at work. A day with low quality sticky stuff is still better than a day with no sticky stuff. I think we'll all agree. Here it comes. Uninspired Monday sticky stuff. Bumpu, bumpu. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff. It even comes out, it sounds like the last squirt at the bottom of a ketchup bottle. Just kind of, that's it. And sticky stuff for you. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and it doesn't matter the day of the week, this is never unimpressive because it's goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.